Hello everyone, my name is Caitlin. I have a Bachelor's of Science in Dietetics and I'm a current graduate student and intern at Eastern Illinois University. And today we'll be talking about fad diets. So first of all, what is a fad diet? Fad diets typically do not have a clear definition. Each person you talk to may have a different definition of the current diet they're trying. But almost all of these diets or eating patterns promote short-term weight loss. Some key words in these diets are quick fixes, detox, good and bad foods, and they typically don't have set guidelines. Some types of fad diets out there are fat burning, magical combinations of foods, magical macronutrient percentage. They include restrictive or avoidant behaviors of calories or entire food groups. They act as a meal replacement, such as bars or shakes. Some fat diets do calorie counting, cleanses or fasting, diet pill supplements, or sometimes even more harmful things, such as injections, body alterations, and non-food substances. We are surrounded by diet options. How do we know which ones are harmful and which ones are healthful? This chart is a great tool to help distinguish between healthy diets and fad diets. A healthy diet promotes a healthy dietary pattern that meets nutrient needs and can be maintained throughout life, whereas a fad diet limits food selections to a few food groups or promotes rituals such as eating only specific food combinations. A healthy diet promotes reasonable weight loss of ½ pound to 2 pounds per week and does not restrict calories to under 1,200 a day. A fad diet promotes rapid weight loss of much more than 2 pounds per week. A healthy diet promotes or includes physical activity, and a fad diet advertises weight loss without the need to exercise. A healthy diet is flexible enough to be followed when eating out and includes foods that are easily obtained, and a fad diet may require a rigid menu or avoidance of certain foods. A healthy diet does not require costly supplements, whereas a fad diet may require the purchase of special foods, weight loss patches, creams, or other products. A healthy diet promotes a change in behavior and teaches new eating habits and provides social support. And a fad diet does not recommend changes in activity and eating habits and recommends an eating pattern that is difficult to follow. And finally, a healthy diet is based on sound scientific principles and may include monitoring by qualified health professionals, whereas a fad diet makes crazy claims, does not support claims that is clinically tested or scientifically proven, and claims that is new and improved or based on some new scientific discovery or relies on endorsements by celebrities. Some current popular fad diets that we will discuss today are low carb, intermittent fasting, macro counting, and beverages. The first one we'll talk about is low carb. Some popular low carb diets out on the market right now are paleo, the keto diet, and Atkins diet. The motto for the paleo diet is that if a caveman couldn't eat it, neither can you. So this means no grains, minimal fruit, no dairy, legumes, processed foods, or sweets. The keto diet is a very low carb, high fat protein diet, and similarly to paleo, does not include fruit, starchy vegetables, or grains. And then the Atkins diet is also low carb, restrictive, and some foods are off limits. The major con for these diets is that glucose is the brain's preferred fuel source. When you cut out a major food group, and this being carbohydrates, your body and your brain are not getting the nutrients that it needs to function properly. And then a pro for these diets is that there's scientific evidence that low-carb diets and high-fat diets may treat certain conditions such as epilepsy, especially when medications are not working for the individual. The next is intermittent fasting. There is no clear requirements to this diet and is open to interpretation. One can argue that a normal eating cycle is intermittent fasting because we sleep for a long period of time at night, which would count for the fasting period. Others will say that intermittent fasting is when you are only allowed to eat during specific times of the day, such as between 8 and 9 a.m. and 3 to 5 p.m. And then others may say that you can only eat one meal a day and the rest of the day is a fast. So there's really no clear definition to this diet. It's really up to interpretation. But basically, the overall theme is that it is an eating pattern that cycles between fasting and eating. Sometimes these are promoted by supplement brands. For example, Bulletproof Coffee created their own intermittent fasting schedule to promote their brand. The major con for this diet is that it leads to binge eating and may lead to crabbiness during fasting periods. And a pro is that it could limit mindless eating or grazing around the kitchen. Next is macronutrient counting. Macro tracking counts the grams of carbs, protein, and fat daily with a limited focus on nutrients. This diet doesn't account for essential vitamins and minerals, which may lead to deficiency. And it can also lead to disordered eating by fixating on macros. And then a pro is that it can get people thinking about general nutrition. And the last fad diet we'll talk about is beverages. These beverages promise to boost metabolism, burn stomach fat, and detox. There is little legitimate evidence supporting these claims. Some beverage examples are weight loss tea and coffee, but these beverages are generally laced with laxatives or diuretics, and this leads to the risk of dehydration, laxative dependency, and liver damage. Another beverage is detox drinks, but the body naturally rids itself of toxins. The kidney and liver, it's their job to detox the body, and in a normal healthful person, they don't need assistance doing that when your body's organ systems are doing it for them. These also have added ingredients such as laxatives and diuretics that may be harmful. Regular tea drinking, such as black, green, or herbal tea, can be a healthy habit, but don't expect it to perform miracles. There is a lot of media influence for fad diets and products that makes it hard for consumers to know what information is correct and from an approved source. Many celebrities, such as the Jenners and the Kardashians, get paid in endorsements to promote products. There's also social media influencers and brand ambassadors who promote products and provide discount codes to consumers to sell the product. But these influencers and ambassadors are not required to know the ingredients or any claims of the product, which generally have little legitimate evidence supporting these claims. So now let's talk about healthy ways to lose weight. Healthy weight loss can be done through MyPlate recommendations, accredited weight loss programs such as Weight Watchers, through physical activity, and any diet plan that recommends no more than losing 1 to 2 pounds per week. Here are the MyPlate daily recommendations for men and women aged 19 to 30 years. You can go to choosemyplate.gov for daily recommendations for all age groups. The daily recommendation for fruits for men and women are 2 cups. For women, it is recommended that they eat vegetables, 2.5 cups of vegetables, and for men, 3 cups. It's recommended that women have 6 ounces of grains and men eat 8. 5.5 ounces of protein for women and 6 ounces for men. And then both men and women are recommended to consume 3 cups of dairy each day. With Weight Watchers, you can lose weight without giving up whole categories of food or feeling like you're chewing on cardboard. The food is assigned to a point system instead of counting calories, so a lot of people find it easier to obtain and understand. It's a lifelong way of eating, not just a desperate measure to lose weight. Weight will come back when it's not about changing your actual lifestyle. And users report satisfaction with the diet, its livability, and most important, the dieter's confidence that they'd be able to continue the diet long term. So now let's talk about exercise. Most Americans do not exercise regularly, and 25% of American adults get no physical activity at all during their leisure time. There's so many health benefits of exercise, such as improved flexibility and balance. It increases the sensitivity of tissues to insulin and decreases the risk of developing type 2 diabetes. It also increases muscle mass, strength, and endurance. Regular exercise has proven to reduce the risk of colon and breast cancer. Exercise reduces the risk of cardiovascular disease because it strengthens the heart muscles, lowers blood pressure, and increases the good cholesterol levels in the blood. Weight-bearing exercise stimulates bones to become denser and stronger, which reduces the risk of osteoporosis. And the strength and flexibility promoted by exercise can help improve joint function. Some other benefits include aiding in weight management, reducing sleeplessness, improving self-image, and helping to relieve stress, anxiety, and depression. Physical activity makes weight management easier by increasing energy out, increasing lean body mass, and promoting loss of body fat. To reduce the risk of chronic disease, public health guidelines advise at least 150 minutes of moderate physical activity each week. This averages out to 30 minutes of moderate exercise 5 days a week. And moderate exercise is the equivalent of walking or jogging a mile in 15 to 20 minutes. In order to maintain a healthy weight, it is recommended adults engage in 60 minutes of moderate to vigorous activity, and for those who have lost weight and want to keep it off, the recommendation is 90 minutes of moderate exercise daily. Everyday activities and aerobic exercise provide the base for an active lifestyle. Every day, try to be as active as possible. This can include walking the dog, taking the stairs, gardening, yard work, or playing with your kids. 3 or more days a week, it's recommended to engage in aerobic activities. This can include running, walking, swimming, or biking, or sports activities such as basketball and tennis. 2 to 3 days per week, engage in strength and flexibility activities and enjoy leisure activities. This can include yoga, golf, weightlifting, stair climbing, and stretching. And then finally, minimize sedentary activities such as watching TV and playing video games. And here's another chart for exercise recommendations. For aerobic activities, it's recommended 5 to 7 days a week for 30 to 60 minutes if you're doing moderate activity where the heart rate is raised to 60 to 69% of maximum, and 3 to 7 days a week for 25 to 60 minutes for vigorous aerobic activity, which is 70 to 85% of maximum. On 2 to 3 non-consecutive days a week, Use weights that are heavy enough for muscles to be near exhaustion after 10 to 12 reps. And do 8 to 10 exercises for all major muscle groups and repeat each lift 8 to 12 times. And then 2 to 7 days per week, extend to a position of mild discomfort and hold that stretch for 10 to 30 seconds and repeat each stretch 3 to 5 times.